You saw the thumbnail and you clicked on the video anyway. I'm kinda surprised. I mean, did you actually take a second to, really take this in? Alright, as a reward, here's the original design. And a question. Say there's like 1,000 gods, and one of them asks you to watch over his stuff while he goes to the Holy Baloney. That's a strip club. And you see like a Infinity Stone just chilling in the pile. Would you just take it? It won't make you as powerful as the god of, fertility, but it lets you control space and live forever. Granted, you don't get f***ed over by the god of f***ing himself.
But yeah.
Well, that's what this guy did. The glorious risen demigod and father of the saddest, most pitiful creature to ever mistakenly walk the plains of yore. Xvarts. Their description cites the word degenerate, whose definition I feel you need reiterated. Having lost the physical, mental, or moral qualities considered normal or desirable. I remember when people used to say that cool shit was based. I love that debased is a synonym. Can we start saying stuff is debased? Alright, so this debased, defunct thief god stole a piece of string that made him 9 feet tall and put a nice red dot over his heart. He instantly said, oops, and fucking booked it. Just started running from the gods. But when you live in a world where people can cast Gate, you need a magic backup plan. And here's the kicker, here's what he did. He made clones. Like an ugly purple smurf version of the Manchun, a guy who had a clone war with himself, the literal holy divine power who looks exactly like this, went all over the 9 realms and 12 planes and all 11 herbs and spices, crapping out ugly mentally disabled clones that hid him. Then he went to the prison realm. He made his home base in the howling horror world, not because he's brave or smart, gods know that he's far from all that and handsomeness, but because he's a grimy, smelly coward. Oh no, oh shoot, I embarrassed him too much. There he goes, off stage left. Little bitch. But his sad excuse for offspring whose nature closely resembles that of a failed game developer and whose collective intelligence rivals lesser fruit mold are now all over the place. Because the god is hiding in caves, naturally these things do too. Apparently, in addition to planar travel, duplication, immortality, and subversion, Raxivort, who I forgot to say his name up until now, is also friend to all rats and bats, but not cats. So the baby Xvarts naturally attract the friendship of rats and bats in their dark habitat. All big or small or long or tall, they creep and dreep while children sleep to steal your Christmas pies. But don't be afraid, they're like 3 to 4 feet tall and have a soft spot on their head. You could probably kill one with a nice slap to the baby skull like the Staples That Was Easy button.
That was easy.
Also, tragically befitting the most pitiful creatures in all of D&D, they lack penis balls and vagina mandibles. At least, they aren't gonna make more of themselves. Sadly, they'll never experience intense horniness, but I choose to believe that they gather in caves and just bro out all the time. Like playing foosball and drinking brewskis and, they probably only have the capacity to watch football and enjoy advertisements.
Speaking of ads, I don't have one. But I did want to give a pat on the back to Ghostfire because they're fucking with D&D Beyond right now. Like the team whose first campaign was a big part of my channel and who I published through is just as official as Critical Role and literal official stuff. That's awesome. Also, don't forget the new Seeker's book is still on Kickstarter. They unlocked a Dungeon Dudes trader and an XP to level 3 trader, and they aren't far away from unlocking a Fiddle and Frog from Legends of Evantris. That's really cool too. Ain't nobody paid me to say that, but I wanted to. Fight me about it. The Xvarts won't. They're stupid.
They're so stupid that the smartest among them, when needing food, gets on stilts, wears a big cloak, and goes to buy hot dogs for him and his bros. More than food though, as clones of a conniving treasurer, they like to steal shiny stuff. The only perceivably cool encounter you could have with them is like catching a band of Xvarts exploring ancient ruins with a big pack of giant rats. Give me a second while I write down the phrase Giant Rat King, okay? And having the Xvarts raiding the place for silver sporks and golden goblets while blatantly not realizing that the thing in the middle of the room is a staff that multiplies your cognition tenfold. Of course, if you did give it to one of them, he'd barely become smart enough to know the difference between your, and ewer. Xvarts have a bone-rattling fear of humans, dwarves, and elves, pissing their pants like a freshly plucked toad whenever they see one, which makes encountering them kind of funny. I'd try to, gather them up and make a little rock band with 4 or 5 of them. The only creatures they do talk to are were-rats, who almost instantly subjugate them. They're so pitiful that I think if they stole from you, they'd sooner apologize and give it back than fight you. It even says that they hate everyone and themselves, but are too scared to throw a punch about it. The only reason they do steal stuff, generally, is to give it to their god, because more than anything else about them, they fear and love their god, who again is a 9-foot tall one of them. They'll offer up anything from a slightly shiny fish hook to human sacrifices, in hopes that he shows up with a big bag and takes it, leaving nothing in return. Again, these short, balding, inbred, bat-kissing, rat-collecting degenerates are so sad that even their god and creator won't give them so much as a loaf of bread. Only now do I feel bad for them. Maybe I was too mean. Nah, I just looked at their first edition art again, and I think I stand by everything I said. That's the video. Ask your DM to put Xvarts in your game so you can chase them around, calling them short until they cry. Also, follow the artist on Twitter. He's a really cool guy. Goodbye. Cat. Okay. Do you have something to say? Once more for the microphone, please. Thank you. The glorious risen demigod? Okay.